Back.
That was terrible. And we have an engineer now.
I mean,
just slowly cut it down.
He just slammed through.
There you go. It's a gradual.
All right. Welcome back. We are back live. I still didn't cut my light off.
Your light off.
Welcome back. We technical difficulties. We are back from our summer break. Basically starting season 3 of the.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the third season of our third anniversary will be next March.
Yeah.
But this is going to be basically season 3 because I think I like the summers off.
We can't take no more summers off. I hope we didn't lose y'all because we keep taking time off.
But it's life and our own mental health to be able to go through some things and battle through some things with what we got going on here. So we welcome you back. We thank you for sticking in there with us. I've been posting some stories on the page, on the Facebook page. So please follow us on Facebook. We do have an Instagram now, Tailored Truth on IG. Follow us on Instagram. And we'll be posting more things up there. This is us. This is we. We are it. We're also looking for anyone else who wants to start their own podcast and get with us, and we can do some things and set some things up. We do have an engineer. An
engineer in training.
An engineer in training. Someone that is going to be taking our show to the next level. That's why the picture is a little bit clearer because we're upgrading our things, equipment and things, and we still down in the basement until we get some sponsors and some money, and maybe can rent out a studio.
What's going on with my shirt? I'm sorry.
And doing it well. It's because you have breasts.
It might be. I don't know.
And you have on a Brazil. You know, this supposed to be set the top tiles free day today.
That won't happen.
For breast cancer awareness.
Man, always gonna be locked down. I ain't gonna ever worry about that.
I seen a post on one of our mutual friends' pages, and it was like, yes, October 13th set the top tiles free. I was like, yeah, you know y'all gotta go to church today.
Y'all singing the choir. Have them locked down 24. No, not 24 hours a day, because you can set them free once you get in your personal abode, but spare us all.
Yeah, so
that's right.
So we are just here. We want to give a shout out to our engineering training. Someone that's going to be taking a lot of pictures for us, taking some things with us. Little Rail.
Hi.
Yeah, he's behind the scenes, behind the camera. He don't say much, so we just thank him for using his gift, and he is actually setting up our YouTube page, and we'll be on YouTube. What's the other one? Twitch. We're gonna be on Twitch soon.
I don't even know nothing about it.
I don't know nothing about it, but he do it so we can get some money. So we're gonna try some different things. So share, like our stuff if you like it. If you comment, please email us too. The email is tailoredtruthpodcast@gmail.com.
And we're going to be putting some polls out there, so we expect the feedback. Please respond both on the Facebook page, the Instagram page. There's actually, I don't know if you all mess with your filters or not, but there's actually a polling filter on the Instagram app, so we'll be utilizing that as well. And expect your feedback or any questions at all that you all have for us in the email. Utilize that. So we're trying to beef up this interaction a little bit more. So yeah.
And we are, no topic is taboo. We are going to be exploring some sexuality things and beating the myths. Because one of the things that I've seen come across my timeline is, as Christians, we don't like to get into sexuality and sex and all that good stuff. We shy away from it, and part of the problem is why our children don't understand, don't want to get to know their own self, is because it has not been discussed in healthy places to be able to understand the whole ramifications behind it all.
Yeah, and that's the basic things. You still got. I had a discussion with a coworker not too long ago, and it was just like she knew someone that was totally oblivious and thought if she interacted in a certain position that her and her significant other could not get pregnant. And this woman was in her 20s. So,
dear engineer, can you hand me my glasses?
You can't see, baby.
I cannot see this.
You can't hear.
I can hear.
You got your glasses on. You can't hear.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay,
yeah.
You can hear now.
I can hear now. So
there are people that are still out there that don't know any better. So we have to explore those. And who better to ask? Like, you supposed to be able to come to the church and ask them questions like that and get a knowledgeable answer, and not just asking the random people in your family that may want to leave you oblivious.
Yeah.
And set you up.
Yeah.
Set you up for failure. So yeah. This we're gonna try not to leave y'all on here for a very long time, but we got a lot of catching up to do. We haven't been back since the spring, so we want to catch y'all up on a few things. We're gonna talk about Game of Thrones since it's gone off, sadly enough. Maybe we can cut off our cable. Pastor talk about that today. If you run into money situations. So that's the first thing that's going to go. Game of Thrones is not on. And this is Power's last season. So after them episodes, we may not need cable.
Yeah, we may. There's some other things.
May not need one.
But you know, and I found out too that Hulu has all the sports channels.
But see, and that's what I'm waiting on. They supposed to get this combo deal with the Disney Plus and the Hulu.
And ESPN, all that rolled into one for like $15. But you still got to pay $80 for your daggone internet. Hey, Disney, I know y'all the big dogs. Y'all hook us up with some internet. You know, y'all can get all the money. Y'all can get all the money.
They get you coming and going. It
Yep.
don't make no sense. Okay. Yeah. We also will talk about our trip, my 40th birthday celebration. Even though I hate to bring him in, and he has to be talked about just a hair. Kanye,
Mr. West.
We got to talk about him just a hair. I'm not gonna give him a whole lot of time, but we got to talk about him a little bit. We're gonna talk about this woman, unfortunately, that just got shot and killed by the police officer in her home. And the other situation, I tell you, Texas and Florida. I don't know what I'm gonna do with y'all. But this other situation and the Amber Geyer forgiveness situation, we're gonna touch on that just a hair because we just want a little bit of feedback on what y'all think as far as Christian forgiveness. And then lastly, we're going to round it up, but see what y'all listening to, and if you have any suggestions for new music, and we're going to let y'all know what we listen to until next week. That's going to be a part
that's going to be a new segment now?
Yeah, we got to see.
What they call that thing on the other show, the Music Man segment?
We just want to see what y'all listen to. What inspires you through the week, because we know a lot of people... that's what, may get you through your
work week.
It may help you block out everybody else, however gets you. So we want to see who you listen to. So from the top, anything you want to catch the people on up with since, April or May?
Yeah, April or May. First of all, number one, we want to apologize for the last podcast we had. We had some technical difficulties. I don't know what happened with the sound, because we had a great interview.
We got to get Cairo back on.
With Cairo Courts. And I know they'll be up for, and we're not going to Florida this Thanksgiving, so I know they'll be up and we can do a whole family. Man, it's going to be crazy. We're going to do a big family podcast.
I'm excited about it.
For Thanksgiving. We're going to talk to
I'm just ready to eat, y'all.
Historian. Real. I'm full still from in this Trump. We're going to talk to our historian of our family, our patriarch of my wife's side of the family. We're going to talk to Deacon Joseph Hacksmith, just celebrated 95 years of living on this earth. We're going to talk to him about some of the stories we had, and y'all going to get into some good family memories during the holiday season coming up. So we're we're gonna do that recap show with all the couples.
Y'all
but we're gonna be having coming up soon. What's it like to be young and married? You know, we old and married now. We
got married when we were.
But we gonna have some people that's
young.
really, really in their first 5 years of marriage, and we all know they say it's the 7-year itch. If you can make it 7 years, you can make it
7-year hump.
7-year hump, 7-year itch, 7 years.
Like
if you can make it past the 7 years,
that's what they told us.
And we have been good after the 7 years.
And we made it through the 7th year.
The
The 7th year was rough.
The
like
7th year was
right.
The 7th year was
somebody
rough.
was right about it.
Somebody wrote a book and put it down.
Yeah.
So we made it through.
All
right.
We had a kid to leave and go off to school, so shout out to her. So our new engineer is in the home. He's the only kid.
The only kid.
Do you want to be on camera? No, you don't want to be on camera.
You like behind the camera.
we eventually we're going to come back and ask you a few questions about how you feel about living here by yourself. Like, is there a transitional change? So eventually, he's a little shy.
He's not shy. He just don't like to be in front.
He don't like to be in front of the camera. But okay. Dustin went to school, and what else?
Dustin went to school. I almost had a nervous breakdown because she went to school.
It took him a minute, y'all.
It is a different feeling when your daughter go to school than when one of your knucklehead sons go to school. But
we gotta ask people that have been, all of those parents that are now empty nesters, like all of your children have gone off. Like, how did you get through that?
Yeah.
Especially girls, that's a different type of transition. I don't know, because he is the youngest, I might have just as hard of a time.
Yeah.
Because this one, even though he don't think he going nowhere, he getting up out of here.
Even if it's around the corner downtown, he going to live on campus.
He getting up out of here. So
yeah. And then the funny thing is he had to come back every week to record these podcasts. Or should we be straight by then? We should be having our own, because what we're trying to do is venture out into the media market to expand not only our podcast but expand our total brand to be a little bit bigger, because kind of we want this to be our business, and that's where it's going.
We tired of working for people, y'all.
Yep, pretty much. And we're tired of working with people, and when you work for somebody, they control everything.
They control everything. And we have a lot that we like to say. We have opinions that we think should be voiced. I think our testimony as a couple or even individually serves like a lot of people that people can kind of, you can see where we are now and kind of,
share.
I did.
Okay.
If it helps in any way of shape or form, like, that's what we're here to do, to help guide people through. And we are by no means experts, but we can testify to what we've lived through, and how we've lived together, and the situations that go. And I think, that needs to be shared. So yeah, if we can do that full time, that would be awesome.
It would be awesome. Use your gift, somebody.
And I'll shout out my other stuff later.
Yeah.
Later.
Yes. It was a transition, sending Destiny off to college, trying to give her everything she needed, get her everything she needed, and trying to almost pack. You never know what you have until you start packing. And this, you look red today. But yes, I'm just... And she had to clean up her room, which was
and we've only been in this house 3 years.
3 years.
So
which was an interesting thing, and it took her about almost all summer to get this room halfway decent.
I mean, diligently about 2 weeks.
It went up to the last day. Because her and Real was...
I went
you in there too.
Because I plays no games. I just start throwing stuff away. When I get in a cleaner mood, I'm just tossing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it became a matter of like, do you really need this?
Yeah, like I mean, it was like she was packing like she won't ever
Like she won't coming back.
Coming back, and then here's the funny part: we got to go down there in December and pack
And
it all back up
all over again.
and put it all in the car and travel all the way back to Richmond.
Well, it's not far. We can't keep seeing all the way. A lot of people have way farther to go. If she gone where she really wanted to go to,
she would have got a storage unit. I'm sorry, we would have just bought the majority of the stuff when we got up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an adventure. That was very, very adventurous. But also we thought we had a lot of stuff, but then when you start seeing other parents and their children, it's like they packed up a whole house,
whole grass full of
for half
things.
of a room.
So yeah,
because you had to share your room with your roommate, your dorm room. And anybody that has been to college understands that you don't have but so much space.
Oh well.
Oh well.
2 down, 1 to go.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, Vegas.
Whoop, whoop, burr, 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 burr. we had a wonderful trip. I had a good time.
I had an awesome time.
Had a good time.
I had a really awesome time. You only turned 40 once, and I think my hubby for making the suggestion. It was between Vegas and Miami, and we gone to Miami for a hair.
Yeah. It was a day.
Well, 2 days.
It was 2 days
on both ends of a cruise. And I enjoyed myself. Eventually, I probably want to go back, but that's like a fun. Maybe not a spur of the moment because we ain't got it like that. But, it takes less time.
Lord, give it to us so we can have spur of the moment Miami trips right now, God.
I agree.
We can just go for the weekend.
We can touch it out. I agree on that.
Go for the weekend and come back.
But I felt like it was less of a chance me getting back to Vegas sooner than it would be Miami. So I chose Vegas. I chose very carefully the people that we,
because
invited.
everybody can't go on vacation with me.
You can't go on vacation with everybody, especially because most people, from what I'm hearing, go to Vegas for like 3 days. And I don't see how they made it, but we went for 5.
5 days.
5 days.
And still wanted to do stuff.
And still wanted to do, I think it was only one thing I didn't cross out my list, and that was a hike. So I just put that first on the list when I go back. But to be totally 100, I don't think I was in a state where I could hike anywhere any of those days. So maybe that was wise that I did that.
It was wise because people fall off the Grand Canyon.
We can't look. How do you explain to somebody? Well, where'd she go to? Why you didn't bring her back with you? Well, she had a good time and then she went on over the canyon.
But they say a lot of people actually fall over the Grand
Canyon.
Yes, they say they have a lot of accidents falling over the Grand Canyon.
I want to go, y'all, but I want to make sure I'm well rested and hydrated and all of that stuff before I go hiking.
Yeah, you can't go out partying the night before and try to get up and go on a hike to the canyon.
So that'll be on
and
the
you in the desert.
That'll be on the next trip. Well, but so yeah, and it to me, everybody has their own personalities, but you really get to know people when you go on vacation with them. Like I said, I had a blast, but I was very selective in who I asked to go. And some people couldn't attend, and that's unfortunate, but they go on the next family vacation. But I want to forever remember my 40th, and that will remain a very memorable trip. So thank you to all of my loves that showed and came and had a good time. Prior to that, I want to mention that I cried like a baby for 3 days. He surprised me at the church with friends and family, and I won't go deep into detail with that, but I've covered on this podcast once before about how friendships mean to me, and I take them very seriously to heart, the people that I welcome into my life. And minus maybe 2 or 3 people in my life, everybody in that room, hey Tasha Boo, everybody in that room had an impact in my life in some way, shape, or form. So looking out into the congregation and viewing that, like everybody in the room, and it was like love that was just radiating. I fell all to pieces, and I ain't had no choice but to fall all to pieces.
The funny part is, I invited a minister, Reverend C.C. Jackson, that came out and preached for us, and she had no clue after she came out there. She was like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what it is. Tiana, you ain't missed nothing, girl. We just started.
and then I had some of her college friends come through. She was like, "Oh, this is weird. People just showing up today."
They just showed up.
And then we just announced
my village went to get my baby.
Yeah. Destiny showed up, so it was. We had a good time. And it was to be able. I'm always doing something for her birthday that she never expects. One time I threw a surprise party, had her grandma there, and she came. It was so
I was not in a condition to be around grandmas. Let me tell y'all that. Shout out to Ella, may she rest in peace. But I was not. They made me show up to my birthday party, and I was. Look, I sobered up real fast once I saw.
See, Ella and Joe came in. She was like, whoop. And I seen the Instagram and the stuff beforehand before she got there.
For some reason, when I've had maybe a glass or two, I think I'm a runway model. So there's a slight strut that I have, and this has been recorded twice now. When we were in Vegas, it was recorded once. But in that particular surprise birthday, it was shown again. But I mean, I am very easy to surprise. On the other hand, I've tried twice, and I'm not trying again.
Yeah,
I don't know what it will take.
Because one of the things is, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. If you don't plan it, I'm going to plan it. And
these are all planned. No. You just insert yourself.
Yep. Insert. I'm like a bookmark. Just go right to the page.
See, that's terrible. So yeah. Needless to say, Vegas was a blast. If you ever have an opportunity, if you have not gone to, don't try to be cute about it, y'all. Gone to to party. That's what we were. Everybody kept asking me, did you get some rest?
No.
This trip won't want no rest.
We going out. I can rest at home. I ain't going over vacation. That's why I said vacation. I had the vacation from my vacation.
Right. I think next time I will make sure I take the following day off. Yeah. Make sure that
we came back
and went right back to work.
Yeah.
I won't do that again. No. But definitely, I mean, I think we ended up, our age caught up with us.
Yeah. Because it took me about a week to get together.
I'm talking about on that maybe that Sunday or Monday, we stayed in the bed.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't budge.
We went to brunch and then went back to the room.
Went right back to bed.
Yeah.
So that caught up with us. But I don't think we had any food that was bad.
Oh, that's all right. We're gonna discuss this Vegas trip. Number one, we're gonna discuss the food on the trip. Number one, there are ways to do Vegas when you don't spend a whole bunch of money. Every club or every event or party space,
though. I'm not recommending the list.
No, this is what I'm telling you. Let me get it. You can get on a list, but you got to get there super early. But get on the list. Because we went to 2 pool parties.
Yeah, the list worked for the pool parties.
For the pool parties that we didn't have to pay to get in. My brother had to pay because it was you had to have more females,
always take more
women than men. But then the one where we was trying to get in the second time, the first time we got in for free at Aria when they closed the top half.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. So there's a thing called free nightclubs. Get on the list, text somebody. It's quick, and you can save you some funds. But also in Aria, they have a live DJ in the middle of the casino. So if you don't want to pay the $50 to $60 to get into a club, you can go right there and have almost same experience.
That was the spot nobody knew about. So everybody's trying to busy to get into the club, and we were defeated. I was defeated. I was like, all right, we're going in the house and go to bed.
Nope, that won't happen.
It was on my birthday, on my actual birthday. But we ended up seeing first of all, we saw a band, and it was just, it
Like
was
a
a
cover
girl
band, yeah.
and 3 guys. One was playing a guitar, drummer. It was like a small band that was in the hotel lobby, in the casino lobby. They got down.
Yep.
And we stayed right there with them until we moved on to the next. And it was this other random spot in the middle of the hotel lobby. They were checking IDs to get in. We went in and it was completely free. And we had a blast. A blast in there. The DJ was off the chain. The bartender was off the chain. We had a good old time and didn't spend a dime that night.
So it is.
Besides the drink.
Yeah. So it is opportunities, ways to do Vegas that you don't spend a lot of money. We spend most of our money on food. Because they have these buffets. And if you know me, I don't like buffets. But I would do a buffet in a Vegas hotel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because those things were great. We was trying to go to Buchnall's, but it was a little bit more expensive than what we wanted to pay for at the time. So we went to the buffet at the Mirage. Which was really, really good.
$20 cheaper.
So $20 cheaper, really for dinner. Really, really good. We got there a little later, but they still had fresh food. They still was bringing out fresh stuff. And most of those hotels have, if you're a pizza guy like I am, they have brick oven pizzas, fire pizza, which is really, really delicious.
And for $8 added onto the buffet, you got all you can drink.
And we're not talking about Pepsi.
No. Well, you could have got that too.
That
was part of the buffet.
Yeah.
That was part of the buffet. But yeah, the bar was included for an additional $8. They were like 3 selective drinks, maybe 4.
Yep.
And wine. But you could choose from. But it was only an additional. You talk about $60 max for all you can eat. And not just. We ain't talking Golden Corral, y'all. Won't no fried chicken on that.
It wasn't fried chicken,
but it
had fried chicken.
Won't no nasty kid fingered chocolate fountain.
Nah.
Won't none of that. Won't nobody sticking their fingers in chocolate fountains and eating it and then going back.
They had crab legs, Dungeness crabs. They had sushi, fresh sushi. Somebody was back there, John, rolling that shank, cutting it up, putting it out.
The one we went to that morning, the brunch buffet had fresh poke,
and that was in Cosmopolitan.
In the Cosmopolitan,
the Wicked Spoon.
So yeah, you can do it. We had a blast in Vegas. I will always remember my 40th. So yeah, there's no restaurant review. Just go to Vegas if you.
Go to Vegas and eat. Then they got the Fat Burger too in the morning. Got the Fat Burger on the Strip. The Strip is a show in itself.
Well, Old Vegas is a show in itself.
Both.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all want to see that.
It is some sights
to
be
held. And smells.
Well, and then it was the Heart Attack Burger, the Heart Attack place.
That was in Old Vegas.
That was in Old Vegas. If I still ate beef, I would have tried it. I would have tried it on that trip because I had my wife with me, and she would, if I would have got sick, she would have made sure I got to the hospital and would have been all right. But I would have tried it. But since I don't eat the beef anymore, I'm not going to mess with it.
Stay away from it.
Stay away from it.
Stay all the way away. I now understand.
Oh, he said after the party, it's the hotel lobby.
Literally
the hotel lobby.
Literally. I mean, there are things to do where you don't have to get in there. That's funny. That is but that's completely right. All right, moving on. All right, so like I said, I didn't want to give him a whole lot of time a day, but I got to touch on Kanye a little bit. So, way back when, 2 years ago, when that person in the White House was elected, we know he went and sat with them. And then he said this stupid slavery thing. So, after we talked about him for a while, kind of fell off. And then he started these Sunday service things. I was like, yeah, these sound awesome. You meshing up the most random R&B song with a gospel song. And I'm like, okay, yes. And the choir is awesome. He done recruited the best of the best gospel singers, and then whatever city you in, you recruit whoever superstar is from that city, and you inviting all these people, and that is all well and good. And we've seen a lot of people criticize him, but you also saw a lot of Christian leaders say, you never know how this person is impacting, how they are spreading the word of God, how they're getting young people involved, and I agree with all of that. But he still is
Mr.
who
West.
he is, and he is who we thought he was. And he proved that to be true by going back and doubling down on what he started with in the first place, which was because you vote one way or the other, because you vote Republican, you have been brainwashed, and that's a form of they can't see that.
No, you can't.
What are you trying to show?
Yeah, they can, right there.
Because that's a form of slavery, and he never let his color dictate how he voted and how Republicans freed the slave. Sir,
that was not that's not the Republican Party that we currently have.
We are not under that
Mr.
same, so we cannot. Yes. I don't know why some people think we totally, gave him a pass because he had all this fine gospel singing. That never came from me.
Let me share with you this, because when God wants to use you, He can use you.
Mm-hmm.
But you can produce greatness when God is using you, no matter what your history is.
Yep.
But also, your impact will be lessened if you keep saying or going back to the controversial pieces. And that's why I say, I have really, over the last 6 to 9 months, have stopped calling people crazy. Because crazy is not a good word. I say people have mental illnesses. Just like not only Kanye have mental illness, the boy Antonio Brown, something is wrong with him. I think both of them got a little piece of bipolar in them, man.
Well, you can't give people diagnosis.
I'm not getting. I think. I'm not a doctor. I'm not.
Well, don't mention a specific.
I just think they got something. Their wires are not really.
They could stand to be evaluated.
Yes, both of them. But what Mr. West issues with me, my issue with Mr. West sometimes is this. I enjoy your music, sir. That last album, I did not enjoy your music. I will listen to College Dropout, the whole one. I will listen to the first 3 albums because I like 808 Heartbreak.
But see, that goes back to the discussion we've had before. Are you able to separate the artist from the action?
From the art.
From the art. Can you do that?
I can. In certain instances, I can. In certain instances, I can't.
Mr. Kelly, it will never. I just can't do that.
And he got some good line dancing songs, too. Boy.
And they still play them, and I just have to be like... Wow. And I love the line dance, y'all. But as soon as they put that R. Kelly on, I be like, okay.
It's over. It's over now.
I go sit down and I push pause on my Fitbit. I have to go.
I would not be tracking these steps.
I can't track these steps. You have no part in this at all, Mr. Kelly. But I just, you can. And even has he released? He still ain't. He promised us this album.
Who? Kanye. No, he ain't released. He hasn't released the. Cause I was waiting. I was in Vegas. I was up at 12 trying to figure out if the album was gonna come out. But then they say he wanted to do a whole movie with it, and then after the movie,
I think he's baiting us.
Yeah, he. What they call it? What'd you say? He's what?
Baiting.
No, it's another thing that they called it when somebody. Well, he got us on that. He had a lot of people on the string, and he just pulling the string. But I don't think he's going. But now it's going to be hard for him again because he then came back out with this thing and did it at was it Howard? Howard.
Yes, he
did it at Howard. He was at the homecoming.
Yeah.
Tripping. But you still saw a large group of young African Americans around him recording.
But they were singing.
Yeah.
Most of those were singers. He is very strategic in
how he surrounds himself.
Right, absolutely. Because it made it seem like those people were a part of his rally and were okay enough. No, those are the people he hired to sing.
Oh.
So yeah, he's very strategic in the manner. But
sometimes, and truthfully, he's trying to have. He'll never be a Beyonce. He's never gonna be that. They
took and told him that already.
Yeah.
I don't know why he won't listen. You can't. You're not on that. And that's. It is even his wife's situation. Like anybody would be crazy to believe that she's not using this. She's not an opportunist. She is all day an opportunist.
And has been since the beginning.
So now you got all these people thanking her for this prison reform and getting people out of jail and whatnot. Okay. You can have that. I mean, she did that. But, I mean, we don't know which means around it what she did. But she is still who she is. I'm sorry, I can't give you any other credit for other than that. You are a socialite who is an opportunist. I can't get you past that. Even though you may be helping these people on the side, there is an ulterior motive. I mean, forgive me for that type of judgment, but
it helps you push your brand forward. And that's what I think a lot of this is about, is trying to push their brand forward, trying to be crossover, and then always saying, "Look what I did." Yeah. And all of them have, look what I did. I'm not
supposed to look simple in the face when you releasing somebody from prison and the next week you releasing your new KKW palette.
Yep.
I mean, they go.
It's hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
I'm famous. I'm gonna use everything. Yeah, this light is awful.
What light?
The light is reflecting off my glasses.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
And then my forehead is shining.
I can't say you just have a beautiful head.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. That didn't come out right.
This baldness. And why is the kid laughing? Like, why does he get that?
Because he's a teenager and the hormone monster get out.
Amazing.
Oh,
okay,
that's funny.
Moving on. That's enough for Mr. West. That's
transition. Oh, also, because we did say, because Beyonce, look, I was in the car the other day and I was listening to that song, I Ain't Sorry. Mm-hmm. No. And so I was like, how many people have sing that song and they live by that song, but her and her husband and their 3 kids is living together and they done got it together, and some of y'all done got rid of y'all man listen to Beyonce.
No, I don't think this. Listen, you can't get me talking on B.
I know I can't.
She said what she said.
I know she said and there was a time she was feeling like that, but she worked it out. And some of y'all went to the divorce lawyer and they worked y'all out, and you mad. And he done moved on and all that.
I don't think that she was responsible. Well, she did. She said it in the documentary, to come back and say, yeah, after I throw my middle fingers up and tell them, boy, bye. Then we went through this little counseling.
But she ain't have a song saying, we went to counseling. Come on back. Come on back. She ain't do all that.
She didn't say.
She was just, tell them bye bye. And all that. Nah, I don't need you on it. Look, she done had 2 kids after that.
The proof is in the pudding. Jay is still there.
It's still there.
And all Sir, Rumi, and Blue are living their best life. So
Blue is hilarious.
She is funny.
She is hilarious.
But you have to. You have to see that though visually and take responsibility in your own relationship and say, yeah, I see this is how she felt because they went through that. But obviously something had to work out in the midst of that because they are still building empires together.
Look, y'all really need to give Becky with the good hair a shout out, because Becky with the good hair has inspired 3 classic albums. Becky, we love you. Becky with the good hair, we love you.
We don't shout out side chicks. Get out of here.
Side chicks make stuff all right sometimes because we got 3 great albums because that elevator scene has inspired 3 classic albums from 3 great artists.
Forgive us, B. She don't get no shout outs. None.
You better come back in with the good hair. Next on the list.
We're going to talk about these 2 Texas situations. Let's go back and talk about the Amber Geiger situation. So if y'all were, for some reason, nowhere to be seen, Amber Geiger was a former police officer who, for some reason, entered into a man's home thinking that it was hers.
Her neighbor's house.
Her neighbor's house, who she had tried to roll up on and had formed a relationship with at one point in time. But for some reason, she thought it was her house, and she thought somebody was intruding in her house, and she took out her weapon and she shot this man in his home. And so she went to trial. Throughout the trial, she tried to say it was self-defense. For some reason, she was not arrested, and she thought this was her house, and that's why she shot him. So this was in defense.
My question: how'd she get in? Did she knock on the door and then shot him?
I think he opened the door.
Man, you can't even open the door for your neighbors no more.
And so, throughout, she went to trial. The verdict, of course, found her guilty. The minimum she could get was 5 years. And she ended up with 10 years. After the verdict and after her sentencing, the sister that was the judge went over to her, presented her with a Bible, and hugged her while the bailiff stroked her hair. And also later on the stand, the victim's brother said that he did not want her to serve time, but he forgave her, and he hoped that she found God or something to that effect. So all of these people were the nicest to this woman that killed this black man in his house. That was an outstanding citizen. He did everything they told us we supposed to be doing. We got good jobs, good education, a model citizen,
good living place,
living like a decent means. He never stirred up and did not have a criminal record. But for some reason, this woman found herself in his home and killed him. So this brings up the topic of a lot of the other podcasts I've been listening to. I've heard it people refer to as white Christian Jesus forgiveness, maybe some kind of guilt forgiveness, whatever it may be. It's some kind of thing that tells us as
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, for some reason that gives us permission to forgive people because it is the Christ-like thing to do. Let me just back up before we get to the forgiveness portion, because it came out a little bit, but not as much, that this judge ran. What was she running?
She was running for the judge. She
was running for the seat as a judge. So she was very close to the police department. They just had fundraisers for her.
And the police endorsed her.
They endorsed her.
In the midst of her being called to be the judge on this case.
So she knew Amber and the police force. So like I said, her minimum sentencing could have been 5. It would have looked suspicious, I think, if she had given her 5, so she raised it to 10. And then again, I don't know in what court you've ever seen somebody on a murder trial stroking the hair of the convicted person. So yeah, but the brother is the only person I think I can understand a twinge of what he's saying, because you don't know how grief hits you, and you don't know how you can live with the grief. I don't have any siblings, but I don't know how that would feel if, somebody close to me was killed in that manner, I definitely wouldn't be able to forgive that soon. But I can't judge on how other people deal with grief. So his way I can't judge. Now this judge I can't understand. And that has nothing to do with, yes, we have to get it up off of us in whatever way that may be. But there's no way in the world I would be this nice to this woman right off the bat. So, forgiveness, what are you thinking, and why do you think people think we should, as Christians, do that?
Let me tell you something. I can forgive you, but still want you to spend the rest of your life in jail.
Absolutely.
I can forgive you because if you did something to my brother, I would want to kill. I would want to have vengeance. But what I believe and what my Lord believes, says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I can want you to have some issues. I can want you to suffer for the rest of your life because now you've taken my brother away from me, and I'm going to have to suffer with not being around with him, or if I had a sister, not being around for Christmas, birthdays, and enjoying the rest of our lives. And I can want you to suffer for the rest of your life in a maximum security prison. See, here is the kicker too. She can't go to a regular jail because she's the police. So she's going to
like a Martha Stewart,
the Club Fed jump.
Yeah.
But I can forgive you and want justice to be severely and harshly served. I can forgive you, and if it was a penalty with a firing squad, and if the judge ordered that, I would be okay with it. I can forgive you and still want you to suffer the consequences of your actions.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, forgiveness is how we get it off of us, but justice for it. Because I thought 10 years was too lenient.
It was way too lenient.
And the blatant show of basically disrespect to the family by the other African American people in this. Because I don't think they're black, they're African American. And because there's a difference in this courtroom.
Yeah, I don't. It was way too far for me. It was way past. It looked suspicious. Yeah, you couldn't control the jury, and they convicted her. I mean, they said she was guilty, but it was definitely up to this judge the amount of time she got, and I don't think justice was served in that manner.
No.
Justice was served in the fact that she served something, but nope. Whatever the max was, that should have been handed to her.
Yep. Because the simple fact you was in this man's house. You was in this man's house. This wasn't even your house. You knocked on the door. If it's your house, don't you got the key?
Yeah. And then it was suspicious of the fact that, there were other people that testified to her trying to roll up on him at one point. She tried to get with him, and he turned her down.
The booty too flat.
Shut up.
He ain't got no. My sister gonna say that's like what. But
he was not trying to give her the time of day. So I think there's a such thing, and we gotta stop that. Cause you a Christian, you gotta forgive. But
I still want justice
to be served. And that's the same God in itself.
Yep.
That he is just.
And he is fair.
I mean, it's no way around that. So, yeah. Also in Texas, most recently.
In Fort Worth. In the same city.
This woman was in her own home. Neighbor called to do a welfare check. So her lights and her door were open, but he knew she was in there, but he wanted the police to go check. Now, normally on a welfare visit, you have the police officer knock on the door. If the door is open, they still can't go in. I don't know a whole lot about the law, but they still can't go in if they're not invited in. And he hollered in there, didn't get an answer, went in. There was a gun, I believe, on the table. And then once he entered her room, there was another gun lying on the floor. But this woman was, again, she did not have a firearm on her. She was in her home and she was laid down. He enters the room, tells her to put her hands up, and then shoots. Yeah. Just like that. And shot and killed this woman in her house. The firearm was never in her possession. It was in her house. It hasn't been checked out, but I'm sure they were licensed if they were just lying about like that. But again, she was in her own home, minding her business. Now, the neighbor has come out and is like, I feel bad because I call the police. And everybody's like, why you ain't just go check, bruh? But I don't know. You can't. If you know she holding firearms, I ain't just walking up in nobody's house either. But you as a police officer that is already armed.
And you're supposed to be trained.
And you're supposed to be trained in situations where somebody is already has a firearm. You saw they were laying about, and you saw this woman was not in a position where she could even get to them at the time. To not give her an opportunity to comply is way beyond me. And I'm sure there's more stuff that will come. This is very active. And this just happened a couple days ago, so I'm sure stuff will eventually come out. But I don't see where this neighbor can really feel that bad. I mean, you did the neighborly duty. You know, you did what you were supposed to do as a neighbor. Would I have walked in? No. But a lot of people are saying, like, why you ain't just going? I'm not just walking in nobody's house. Nope. If we speak to our neighbors around here.
Well, I ain't going in
going in nobody's house. We don't have it like that. The old neighborhood watch, we close like that. Situations don't happen a whole lot anymore. Mm-hmm. You see faces enough to know if something is not kosher in your neighborhood. But I'm not walking into
what? Wow.
They had the same what?
Trainer.
Really?
But check this out though. They are trying to now. The police department is trying to do defamation of character of this lady.
Of Amber?
No, of the lady that shot at the house.
Oh. Wait. So.
Amber and the black guy that she killed.
Oh, okay. It's the whole situation is weird, and why he would not give her an opportunity to comply, I just don't know. Why are you so scared?
Because we black. People are afraid.
But you in a city, I don't know what the statistics are in Texas or in that portion of Texas, but you're in a city with a fair amount of black people. So you should be trained to deal with all types of people. And that's the situation we're running into with all of these police officers and unarmed citizens. Like, you are challenged to the fact of protecting a neighborhood of people that don't look like you. And so instead of you going to try to figure out how you can better, get to know this neighborhood or know who's in the neighborhood or better form some kind of camaraderie with the neighbors, now you scared because you don't know them. We are only scared of the things we don't know. But you didn't take the time to educate yourself. They said the dude had been on the force for a year, 2008. So he hadn't taken the time to figure out his surroundings, figure out who the people is that he was supposed to be protecting. If this was a welfare visit and this woman was really in distress, maybe she was depressed, and these guns were situated so that she might have been trying to do harm to herself or what. You didn't help the situation by shooting her.
Nope.
You helped nobody. If anything, you silenced the whole neighborhood, because now anybody else in that neighborhood that run into anything, you think they're gonna call the police?
I like what Kev on stage tweeted today. Said, "I'm at the point in my life I'm not calling the police for nothing. For nothing.
Not one
nothing.
thing. thing, and that is sad. That is why they were created, to serve and
To
protect.
protect and serve. But if your skin, if you got the same hue as I, you might not want to be calling them folks.
And that is a complete fact, and it is a sad situation. You have now silenced a neighborhood for better or for worse. Because
and think about it now. Okay, you not only you silence a neighborhood in Dallas, you silence a lot of neighborhoods everywhere that's not going to deal with calling the police. Now you know that black people ain't gonna call the police for nothing. Guess what? The criminal element can come and run rampant in our neighborhoods.
I'm going to find somebody that can protect me and for my best interest. And that's the locals.
The Bloods and the Crips.
It may not. I don't know nothing.
But I'm just saying.
Whatever neighborhood you live in, whoever are the powers that be in your neighborhood, you gonna try to get in with them to protect you. Hey, Mom. So yeah, that is that. Did you have anything else for our last? Because we told y'all we're not trying to keep y'all too long.
We almost there.
We on our last point before we ask y'all about music.
Game of Thrones. We forgot about that.
Game of Thrones. It's gone.
Yep, it's over.
And people did not like the finale.
Didn't like the ending at all. Did not like who ended up on the throne. But I said it from the beginning. I said it was the. But see, here it is now. Because the last books have not been finished written, he actually gonna make you read the books because it's gonna be somebody else on the
Y'all
throne.
should have been reading the books in the first place. I think everything you need to read a book. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you should have been reading them books before they come out with this. What's the black child name? The book I read. What's the book I gave you? You probably didn't even read it. Children of Blood and Bones. Read the books before they come out. They gave this girl a movie deal. Read the books. So you should have read the books.
Should have read the books. But the books haven't been finished.
The books haven't been finished. So you
he
can't
gonna change. He gonna change the ending.
And he has to now because people were so upset by that. So I think he gonna change it just out of spite.
To make you buy the books.
To make you purchase the books. Tiana, since you on here, if you still on here, fill us in on it. Tiana is an avid reader. Like, she reads.
Oh, I also want to start a book club, y'all. Me. It's a book. It's a book called I'm Lying, But I'm Telling the Truth.
Yes.
I want to read that.
Did you listen to her interview?
I listened to her interview with Bomani.
Okay.
Yeah, she was on Bomani.
You didn't listen to the interview with Kid Fury and Crystal?
No,
the read?
No, I haven't listened to the read in a while.
Okay.
I haven't listened to the read in a while.
She has a good interview with them as well.
Yeah, I want to actually read that book with a group of people.
So we make sure we put that in the description. Add that if we can edit it. So it's called what?
I'm Lying, But I'm Telling the Truth.
And that book, y'all, it focuses on specifically how to get through self-care and mental illness. So yeah, we can start that. That should be good. That should be very good. So was there anything I didn't like who ended up on the throne either. On Game of Thrones.
I didn't like.
I didn't think it was as bad as people thought it was.
I like the twist though. I like the twist because in actuality, everybody knew Jon Snow was the rightful heir to the throne. But Jon Snow has told y'all from the beginning, I don't want it. Y'all keep putting me in leadership positions. I know, but I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with trying to tell people what to do. Yeah. I just want to live with the free folk and just go out and live my life.
And he ended there anyway. Yep. He ended up
with the free folk.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. It's still, now you got to be reminded. He got to find him another redhead girl.
Man, when he, with the part that got me, when he shanked Daenerys after the kiss.
Terrible.
The dragon was like, yo, what you doing, cuz? Yo.
And then he was torn between because he can't kill.
He couldn't fire him
He
up.
couldn't.
He would have had to eat him.
Yeah.
He would have had to eat him.
So,
but they can't attack Targaryens.
We'll be back to talk about next week. These power episodes, and
this is the big rich town.
Since this is the series finale of that as well.
I just come from the poet's pond.
Because as a mother, I have problems with Tasha.
Hey.
As a mother.
Hey, if you gonna keep doing what you doing, and I already been in the game, and you about to get killed in this game.
Kilt.
K-I-L-T.
That's a skirt. Okay.
You about to get killed in the game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to teach you how to play the game the right way.
That's true, but still,
man,
she been turning my nerves up.
With
her and that terrible acting from old girl.
Oh, Lala.
Lala.
Hey, Lala and the dude and Tommy, his real name is Joe. They should not be in the same scenes together, man. Y'all did a bad job of putting them.
But actually, it's gotten a lot better in these last couple of episodes now that it's more dramatic. I think. But it's too bad it's coming to an end when y'all getting better. Like, we about to go home now.
Did you see the meme when somebody put up, it's like, yo, ain't nobody been able to get this boy to do the right thing. Tyreek, they had him with Ghost, they had him with Kanan, they had him with Ice Cube because he was the boy. He was Ice Cube's son in the barbershop. They had him with Kanye.
He need a beat in real life though.
Hey, look, Tyreek, talk to your agent, yo. Talk to your agent.
I think he's supposed to be the main character in spinoff.
Yes. Because he gonna be the
so
next
we know
man.
We have to, that kind of tells us how it's going to end. I think Ghost and Tommy going to die. And Tariq just take over.
They have to. But the question is Dre going to ever die? Dre been in some positions where he should have been off this long time ago.
And y'all better not come on here telling us because we haven't watched today's.
No, not yet.
So don't
usually watch before church, but I did not.
We need the word today.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
They got the word.
Alright. So last portion of this, and I'm going to put the poll up on the or Rail, whoever. Put the poll up on the Instagram and on the Facebook page. We just going to give 2 artists that you are listening to. They don't have to be new artists, but what are you listening to? What did you listen to last week? 2 artists. 2
artists I listened to last week. One was Wale. His new album dropped last week. It's really a smoother album. I actually want to go and watch his interview on the Breakfast Club because they said that was really deep and intense. Other artists that I listened to last week was Summer Walker. I listened to a little small snippet of that. That joint fire. That Summer Walker joint fire. I like that. So if you listeners want some new music to listen to, Summer Walker and Wale, they dropped 2 new projects. So go holler at them.
So my 2, and if anybody that is still listening or on the Facebook, so we can see your immediate reply, just go through there if you got something to add. But Summer Walker was my top 1. And I went back and I was listening to Burna Boy.
Oh, I listened to that before.
Oh my goodness. I like it. Burna Boy, Summer Walker was my number 1, but Burna Boy was like a second behind this week that I listened to a combination of both of those this week. You know, I listen to, because I just got me a new pair of headphones at work, so I switch it up a little bit now between my podcast and the music. But when I pull out of this driveway, I have a music mix that is all gospel. And my day is not right unless I listen to my gospel playlist in the morning. So between the hours of 6 a.m. or whenever I come out of the house, 6:30 till about 7:30, that block is full. There's no other music that is in that hour block. So after that is when I can listen to new music. So yeah, Summer Walker and then Burna Boy are my top two. Scroll down to this. I think it's one comment down there. See if anybody got anything else before we go. No. Well, we thank y'all for tuning in. Anything else?
Nope. Look for us on the YouTube. We're getting our page set up to be up in 24 hours. Listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you can find podcasts, I think we are on it now. So share us. We thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back.
And I know a lot of people was watching the Dallas game, and I think Dallas actually lost to the Jets today. The Jets hadn't won a game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were sorry like us.
Sound like
Miami.
People, yeah.
And Miami lost today to the Washington Redskins. That was their first win. Ooh.
So please continue to listen and share.
Shirley Caesar, I remember, mother. So that's it. That ain't on
The one song?
The one song?
Oh, you listen to the whole album? We need you to listen to the whole thing.
I had a prayer.
What's that the name of the album though?
I don't know.
Oh Lord, I lost my phone down in the couch. Okay, I'll get that in a minute. So yeah, thank y'all for listening. Please share if you know anybody that may take some encouragement from the podcast. Send us an email. Also on the back end, I'm gonna shout myself out just a little bit. If you go to Instagram, my blog Instagram is Moods. Well, it's Moodshine Mind is the Instagram. MOODSHINE One word, Moodshine Mind. And once you get to the Instagram, you can click on the link that'll take you to the blog. Matter of fact, we just working tonight. After we finish this, I'm gonna update it. I got a couple reviews to put in for this week, or I may not do it till tomorrow because I'm tired. But I try once a week to update the blog. But please, it's just a little encouragement, some fashion tips, because we as women, especially fuller figure women, need that. Even though they say we coming back in style, we always need the smallest amount of encouragement to help us know, like, you can do your thing. That's all. And it don't matter what the people, whoever they are.
The people.
The people. It don't matter what they say. You know, it's whatever feels good to you. Yeah. Mom, are you saying you agree with the Shirley Caesar song? You gotta be specific. So, yeah, thank y'all truly for listening. And we will see y'all next week. Make sure you stay in contact. We want to interact with you all on all of the social media sites. If there's nothing else in the way of announcements.
If all hearts and minds are clear. All hearts and minds are clear.
We're going to dismiss from this place. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's okay. Hey, you go back and watch it.
Go back and watch it on YouTube tomorrow or sometime later on this week, or listen to it on Spotify. Please, hey, do us a big, huge favor. Please, 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 if you go on Spotify, go on anything where you can get the podcast. Please post it on your pages. Please post this video. Please post the walk and follow us, and that'll help us. That's how some of these big YouTube stars and podcasts got started, by their friends and family reposting and talking about the stuff that we talk about. We want to do this full time. We want to be able to travel the world, have little events. And we're going to have some events coming up in the next 6 to 7 months that we can get out and talk and discuss some things with the people. We're going to live events. The people. The people. The people say.
Okay,
no. And I told you, anything y'all want us to discuss, want some topics, I mean, we here for it. Drop them in the inbox on our Facebook page. Hit us on the Tailored, TAYLORED, Truth Podcast at gmail.com. We are willing to discuss. We're willing to talk about it. We're going to give you our perspective, which might not line up with the perspective of other folk. Because guess what? It's our truth. So that's how we roll in this thing. We thank y'all. We love y'all. And have a great, great evening.
Peace. That's why we log out of all the things.
Yeah, we got some stuff. Boom.
Good night.
Good night. Hit end. Stop recording.